Hello everyone, Ember here, and welcome back to a new video. Now, for the second video that I wanted to do for Destined Rivals, it is actually going to be another Ethan's deck, and that is going to be the budget Ethan's Typhlosion deck. So Typhlosion has the attack Buddy Blast, which does 40 damage, and then 60 more damage for each Ethan's Adventure card in your discard pile. Now, this supporter card says you get to search your deck for 3 in any combination of Ethan's Pokemon and basic Pharange. But typically, you just want to get Pokemon with this. Like, you can get, like, Pharange occasionally just to attack with, because you only play 6 copies in this list. But you could play more NG, if you really wanted to. But, one thing I will say is that it's just super useful to be able to have a supporter that influences your damage, but is also, like, finding your Pokemon and setting up your strategy. So, yeah. Also got this Quilava, which is very, very useful. So, Bonded by the Journey says once during your turn, you may search your deck for an Ethan's Adventure card, reveal it, and put it into your hand, then shuffle your deck. So, quite nice overall. Very nice, consistent engine. Also just costs a single energy, so it's very easy to actually, like, chain Typhlosions one after the other. Because, like, often I've found with this game is that so many Stage 2 Pokemon, and, like, Fragator was a victim of this as well before, like, the whole hit-and-run strategy. It's just the fact that a lot of these Stage 2 decks need more than one energy, and it can just be a bit rough, like chaining attacks one after the other. But Typhlosion only needing one energy is such a massive upgrade. So, very happy that we finally have a really strong budget deck in the TCG again. Also, I will say that Fezandipiti is not always the cheapest card to acquire. So if you are building this, for example, IRL, not online, where you can just craft everything, like IRL is obviously a bit more expensive, then I would maybe suggest either looking at a Dunsparce Rotom build of a deck, which I'm definitely going to do at some point, or just like sucking it up for Fezandipiti, because it is a good card and it's going to be a good card until it rotates. But it also just helps out nicely with some draw power. If you didn't want this though, like Mew EX is a slightly cheaper card, I believe. Don't quote me on that one, but I think Mew EX is slightly cheaper. But that would give you like some optional draw support IRL if you wanted it. But yeah, Fezandipiti is just useful for when your Pokemon just get KO'd and then you get to draw 3. It's just very nice. Very nice, consistent piece. Also got the new Shaymin in here, which basically just gives you bench protection. Now, sadly, Shaymin has 8 HP, so you can't just find it with Poffin, which kind of sucks. It also doesn't protect you from Dragapult, which is a massive shame. Even though I still think this is a really good deck, and definitely the best single price deck from this set, it still loses, from what I can tell, hard to Dragapult. I've had 3 games where I've tried my best against Dragapult and just did not go very well. So, if you play against a lot of Dragapult at your local league or whatever, I wouldn't recommend this. But, Dragapult's just one of those decks, which I think will be good until they print, another really good counter to it. And to be fair, we are supposed to be getting, I think it's a Psyduck or a Golduck, might be both actually, that have the ability that will prevent Dusknoir from placing damage counters with an ability, so at least that's something. But aside from Dusknoir, Dragapult is still a menace for single prize decks. But that aside, we've also got some trainers to talk about, and of course we've got 4 Ethan's Adventure, kind of important. 4 Night Stretcher just gives you a lot of flexibility when using cards like Ultra Ball, so it means you can discard Pokemon and energy quite freely, and then just get them back whenever you actually need them with Night Stretcher, which is really useful. Also got Maximum Belt as the A-Spec choice here, because you cap at 280, so being able to add plus 50 and KO much bigger Pokemon is really useful. So really do like Maximum Belt. Also got things like Pokégear in here, just because, we're not playing a proper draw engine, so to speak. I've seen a lot of builds using things like Rotom and the Dunsparce, but honestly, I quite like the Pokégear build. So, Pokégear build? Pokégear build, that's the word. But yeah, I quite like Pokégear, so I'm going to be sticking with this one for now. Also got Counter Catcher, 1 copy of Artazon. Now, I've debated actually just removing this, because I think it helps my opponents out a bit too much. Maybe just removing this for another copy of TM Evolution, because that's just a really good card. This deck just really wants to go second, so you can use Arven, find all your stuff out. But the thing is, if you really wanted to, actually, I think you could actually remove Maximum Belt and swap it out for something like Hyper Aroma, maybe. Just because getting the Quilavas down is quite important. So, if you go Arven for Poffin and a tool card, and then Poffin all the basics out that you need, and then you could Hyper Aroma next turn for a bunch of stage 1s. That could be really good here, actually. So I do want to try that out at some point. But yeah, that's a TM Evolution. Also got Black Belt's Training to add plus 40 damage to one of your opponent's EX for a turn. It's quite nice, it can be useful, and because this deck can go quite quickly and just thin out quite fast, you can track this down quickly. But yeah, maybe something like a PAL pad would also really help this deck out, just to get back some of these, linear supporters. Also got a Lana's Aid, but to be honest, you can maybe like remove Lana's Aid or Night Stretcher, depending on how you fancy. I would recommend keeping around this stadium though. This is a very nice stadium. Like your opponent will often do things like Squawkabilly or Rotom, and it's just like, well, no, you don't get to have abilities. So yeah, very nice stadium to have. And of course, Arven is very important to the list. So yeah, that's a budget Typhlosion deck. Let me know what you think down below, and if you'd like to see more of this deck in the future, I'd be happy to do more with it really, because it's, I want to wait until I'm quite high up on the battle pass before trying out Mewtwo. So yeah, let me know what you think down below, and yeah, thank you for watching. The other Ethans is in deck as well, but we might just want to go after Pekkarunt this turn. That's an energy. Yeah, I mean, either way it works, right? Nest Ball. Oh, there was none left anyway. Cool. So we shuffle. That's fine. Flip the script. Yeah, I think we just flip the script here. And we do get the belt. Belt's not going to be enough, though. Belt is not enough. So I think we just get the energy and then boss Pekkarunt and do things that way. Yeah, I think we just do things that way. And then we just boss this guy. And maybe, just maybe, we've done enough. Like, we're going to be in a pretty bad spot next turn, but... yeah, I mean, there's a big brain play for leaving Pekkarunt alive, because then we can do the whole poison thing. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Alright, Shaymin, Quilava. Better late than never, I guess. So yeah, we do want to try and find our other Ethans. So they do Super Rod. Probably getting back the Darmantian line, I'd imagine. Yeah, that's how they're going to win this. That is their win condition, really. Ends PP up. That's alright. So if our own Artazon is our downfall, then it's really just my fault at that point. It really do be just my fault. Yeah, maybe I was just too aggressive with this play. I can bench Shaymin, though, at the very least. So that's alright. We do also get to draw 3 off this. They didn't Artazon for the other guy, which is interesting. So maybe they just want to kill my dudes this way. That might be what they want to do. And I don't like benching squishy targets, but I think I will bench these. Okay, so there's an energy. Yeah, I'll flip the script. Ethans, 1 time. I don't think that's an Ethans, sadly. Sadly. Is it? 180, 190, 200, down to 20, 260. No, that's not an Ethans. We'll get an energy, though. We have discarded 2 Typhlosion as well. So Lana or another Night Stretcher will be needed next turn. That is kind of a problem as well. So we'll Arven. And probably for a gear, I could take Rare Candy though. Probably should take the belt. Yeah, probably Night Stretcher actually, because I think we'll need to get back a Typhlosion, and then we can Arven for Rare Candy if necessary. So yeah, it's not enough this turn, because we can't Black Belt training in the same turn, unfortunately. So yeah, 10 short. Painfully close. Painfully close. All because we prized an Ethan's Adventure. So annoying. We are close, though. I feel like we are still very close. So yeah, this one gets poisoned. Maybe I should have put the belt on this guy as an insurance play. And just smack that one for whatever. Yeah. Yeah, maybe that was wiser. Okay, so... Okay, I think that's everything if we get an energy. Yeah. So there's a few variables I could play with here. Like I could Ethan's for the energy. But we kind of have to play an Arven for a Rare Candy, so... Yeah, we'll get that out of the deck. Yeah, we need Vessel or 3 energy, or one of the 3 energy. So we need one of the pieces, yeah, because then we can Arven for the other piece. Because we have Night Stretcher. Okay, so there's Rare Candy. Okay, I think we just win then. Did we win? Oh, we do win. No, clutch victory. Clutch victory, we do win. I thought I misplayed there horribly because I hadn't discarded Ethan's with Ultra Ball. But no, that's fine. We can discard Ethan's with Vessel. Oh, clutch victory. Oh, long tense game. Yeah, that was... Yeah, for some reason, I really thought I'd messed up badly there, but no. Then we can just Night Stretcher for the last Typhlosion. Oh, yeah, that was painful. Yeah, very, very nearly went south there, but all because we prized an Ethan's Adventure and we prized the Shaymin. Made this game so much harder than it had to be. Really annoying. I was hoping my opponent would also just concede by now, but yeah. Right. Skadoosh. I wonder what the last prize was. Probably an energy. What was it? Show me. Poffin. Yeah.